Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to the new moon in the sign of Aries. The one thing that I want to share with you guys, first of all, is that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Okay, and because it's the very first sign of the zodiac, it is also the beginning of everything. Okay, so before we even begin, I just want you guys to really tap into the energy of what it means for it to be the beginning of everything. What if tonight was the beginning of everything in your life? What we do know as well is that everything that came before this, everything that came before today, everything that came before tonight is no longer relevant. We often like to make the past so significant. We like to create so much form, so much structure, so much definition. And that form and that structure and definition actually creates limitation. Okay? When it creates limitation, we actually lock into place what we think is possible instead of what the universe actually wants us to know is truly possible. And tonight, what we're going to do is we are going to invite the energy of creation, the energy and the magic of the mysteries and the miracles and all the possibilities of the universe to come in tonight to be a contribution to us creating everything new. That is in not only it's in every single area of our life. The newness, the renovation, the beginning, the new beginning is about our body, our health, our business, our relationships, in every single area of our lives. We are going to use this miraculous, amazing energy of the new moon of Aries to create completely new. Okay? And so, as everyone is still starting to find their place in here tonight, I just want to really welcome everyone. I want to welcome everyone who is watching both with us in this intimate setting in Zoom and everyone who's watching online. So many of my favorite people are here. My soul family, our soul family. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to be here. And remember, I love for me, when we come together as individuals, like when we come together, it's the chance and the opportunity for us to recognize and realize that we are so much more together than we are separately. Right? We all do spiritual work. Every single one of us does our spiritual work. I think every single one of you has been in a class with me at some point in some time. And in those classes, we learn all these amazing things and we go home and we work and we do this and we do that. And almost every single time, all of you comes to me and says, there's nothing like that moment that we were all together. There was nothing like those 3 weeks that we did the intuitive anatomy, or those 3 days that we did the basic healing, or when we did this or when we did that, that we really changed the world. And what I want to say to each and every one of us tonight is thank you. Thank you for those who are here, for all of you who are here, because the most important thing that I can tell you we are beginning to step into that is required for all of us is the energy of unity. My dear teacher from the wisdom of Kabbalah, my dear teacher, my first teacher, my
disconnected.
the one that created the
The
space
space
for me
for
to
me
learn,
to
to
learn.
grow, to expand was Rav Berg. Rav Berg always spoke about the energy of unity and how unity, true unity, was the one thing that was going to create more for all of us. But it was the one thing that always separated us. That the point of view and the conclusion about what unity truly is, right? If you and he would go on to explain, he says, if we think about how the universe is structured and the systems of atoms and molecules and all these things in the universe, the one thing that is connected is complete unity on a scientific level, right? The atoms and molecules in existence, they all form and together, and they all work in a beautiful unity and a unison. So if they work in that way, what would happen and what would it take for each of us to work in unity together? New moons are powerful places and powerful times because we have the opportunity to create from them. We have the opportunity to plant new seeds, to start new. This week is beyond that. This week is really, really beyond just the new moon. And these are the things that we're going to cover tonight. We also, in addition to having the new moon that we're in right now, that began to make its appearance today around 1:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon, the new moon in the sign of Aries, we also have the planet Pluto transitioning into the sign of Aquarius on Thursday. And Pluto is the planet of death and destruction. So whatever sign comes through the planet of Pluto, we can always guarantee that whatever those aspects are in that sign are going to get shaken up. So that's something else we're going to talk about tonight as well. The other thing that we're going to talk about tonight is this beautiful placement, which I'm really excited about. I think it's like God's miraculous little, what do you call it? The safety valve, the gift with purchase, if you will. We have the Saturn has now moving into the sign of Pisces. And so Saturn is the planet of judgment. It's the planet of structure. It's the planet of limitation. So we're going to actually also look at that energy too. So we're going to go through what all of these things mean. We're going to spend about 20 minutes talking about them. And then in the last 20, 30 minutes of the evening, we're going to do a meditation that's going to kind of bring it all home. That's going to bring it all home, and it's going to manifest what we want to create within the next 6 months. Okay? Yes, for the whole year, but really the first 6 months beginning now are the most important. What you're going to do now, what you're going to begin to do now, what you've already begun to do, whether you know it or not, is you've begun to plant the seeds for the next 6 months. And in that space of creating that energy, you want to be so super intentional about the next 12 days. For the next 12 days, every single day, energetically, will correspond and correlate to one of the signs of the zodiac. So for today, for the next 24-ish hours, we have the energy of Aries. And in this sign of Aries, the energy that we put in between now and about 3 or 4 o'clock tomorrow is going to determine how the month of April is for us. And then after tomorrow evening, after sunset, for the next 24, 25 hours, it's going to be the energy of Taurus. And the energy that we put into that day is going to affect how the month of May will show up for us, and so on and so forth throughout every sign of the zodiac. So the next 12 days are really important for our consciousness. Why? Because remember, consciousness is creating our reality. And because consciousness is creating our reality, what we know is that we are creating our reality. Wherever your consciousness is, that's exactly where it's going to go. And because every single sign has an energy that comes with it, you're going to start to see the places that you're going to be challenged in those different signs. So for example, the month of Aries is all about diving headfirst into things. So for the next day, you may feel as though you want to be bold and take risks and jump into things that you never knew imaginable. Whereas maybe on Tuesday, in the sign of Taurus, what's going to happen is you're going to go, I'm so super comfortable here and I want to play with my comfort zone, because for Taurus, the energy of comfort is the energy that they want to overcome. So every single day for the next 12 days, you're going to have the opportunity to overcome the energy of whatever that sign is. Okay, so we're going to talk about all of those things this evening and do this really awesome activation meditation that I have about manifesting. Before we get started with all of those things, I would like to actually ask you guys, I'd like to invite you to close your eyes. Just let's go inside for a second. And I'd like for you to go back to, where were you at in your life 6 months ago? So 6 months ago, we're talking about October, right? September, actually late September. So it would be late September, what we want to look at is where we were when the full moon was in Aries. So late September, for the first late September to those 2 weeks, those first 2 weeks in October, where were you? What was going on in your life? What was coming up for you? What was happening? So, for example, for me, I was in the process of negotiating a really amazing contract, amazing opportunity that I created with Asia, with some projects that I have in Asia. It was a little bit stressful because I wanted it so badly. One of the divine life lessons that I learned in that moment was to let go. Another deeper aspect of letting go. Like, what does it mean for me to truly let go? To want something so badly, but also to be willing to let it go. So let me ask you, what was it that was coming up for you during that time, the first 2 weeks of October, full moon of Aries? To get a sense of that, was it an exciting time for you? Was it a stressful time for you? What were you going through last October? And as you perceive that energy, I want you to ask yourself, what divine life lesson was I learning at that time? What positive divine life lesson was I learning during that time? Okay, now you can open your eyes, and I want you to write that down on the side. Okay, make a note of that. Why am I asking you to do that? I'm asking you to do that because that was the full moon of Aries. Tonight we have the new moon of Aries. When something is full, it's the most reactive. When the moon is full, it's the most reactive. When it's new, there's the most space. So, the first secret that I want to share with you guys is that all that crap, all those traumas and dramas and everything that was coming up for you in October, I want you to begin to take the understanding and the knowing and the point of view that tonight we mark one of those life lessons as complete. You're done. You're done. That was one of the biggest life lessons of your life. Okay? So would you be willing to acknowledge and recognize and realize that you don't have to give it any more attention anymore? It's behind you. It's finished. And now is the time and the space to create something different. Yeah. Andrea says a lot happened. It was a really, 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 really intense time for a lot of us. Whether we want to decide whether it's good or bad or right or wrong, it doesn't matter. It's just a really intense time for us. So I want you to really take a second, and we're going to do this in the meditation tonight, but really give yourself some props. Okay? And say, hey, you know what? Wow, I got through it. I did it. And what I'm choosing, what I'm going to create, what's happening for me now is so much greater than I could ever imagine. So from that energy, I want to introduce you and welcome you to this new astrological new year. This new astrological new year, beginning with the sign of Aries, is beyond anything the greatest reset button. Okay? Guys, what is in the past is in the past. It's done. It's finished. It's over with. It doesn't matter. You've lived through those experiences. You've created those possibilities. You've enjoyed the fruits of those labors. You've suffered those fools. You're done. Tonight, today, and for the next, from here on out, you're creating a different reality for yourself. Okay? So anything and everything that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive that right now, right here, today, in this moment, there is no past, will you please be willing to destroy and uncreate it? And so those of you who are joining me for the first time or may have not been listening, what we're going to begin to do is we're going to begin to do a lot of clearings, energetic clearings. Clearings are places where we hold beliefs in our subconscious mind that are holding space and holding a lot of energy that doesn't allow us to actually create something new and something different. And so anytime I ask you, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? What you're saying is, I'm ready to let go of it. And so would you be willing to destroy and uncreate every place in your life that you're using the past to create your future? So everything that is times a godzillion, can we please destroy and uncreate it? Right. Great. I see you guys are super, super ready. You're super ready. And one of the things that I'm perceiving too is that we as a group, as a collective, past, present, future, wherever you are listening or tuning in from, we are a soul family. And the unity that we have today here as a group is what stands and says, you know what? I've got your back. I've got your back. We've got your back. Irina has your back. Albania has your back. Bernice has your back. Svetlana has your back. We have your back. We have each other's back. Now imagine living in a world in which every single person had your back. Imagine living in a world where you had every single person's back. It wasn't like, I have Albania's back, but I'm not so sure about Ben's back. I can have Albania's back because Albania, we create all these judgments and conclusions and expectations and limitations as to why I can have Albania's back, but not Ben's back. So everything that brings up for you, where you are choosing whose back you have to have instead of having everybody's back, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Right, wrong, good, bad, pop, I'm not sure what positive. The thing is that you also want everyone to have your back. And so if you have other people's backs, they're going to have your back. We want to start to look at how we can live in a world and in a place where judgment and limitation are a part of the old. It's a part of the old structure of things that no longer is something that we are choosing. We're saying, hey, you know what? I see within you myself. I see within you my own reflection. You are my brother, you are my sister, you are my friend, you are my lover, you're my everything. If we could truly see that every single person that comes into our life contains within them, a reflection of us, what we really want to ask is, how are you treating yourself? Every single person that comes into our lives is a reflection of us. How we treat them is how we treat ourselves. Every single person holds within them a different vibration, a different energy that is a mirror for us. So when somebody pisses you off, when somebody annoys you, when somebody frustrates you, and they will this month, because Aries has a very short fuse, by the way, stop and say, okay, I'm really annoyed. I'm really frustrated. I'm really maybe pissed off by this person. What is it within them that I see of me that annoys me about myself? Make a commitment to change it. That's very easy. It's not so significant to change it. It's just asking. It's just saying, hey, you know what? I acknowledge this. I want to choose something greater. Right? And so remember that the opposite of hate, the opposite of frustration, the opposite of doubt, the opposite of uncertainty is always love. So ask, when you're frustrated at another person, ask yourself, how can I love myself a little bit more? What will it take for me to love myself a little bit more? What will it take for me to love myself so much that I also love the people that annoy the shit out of me? Wow. To love those who annoy you, to love those who piss you off, to love those who like really, really, really press all your buttons that you didn't give birth to, by the way. Because we all say, especially all of you who are mothers, you go, yeah, those are my kids. I'm not talking about your kids. It's easy for you to love your kids. I'm talking about the person in the grocery store. I'm talking about the person in the gas station. Those are the people. What would it take for us to love them? Your husband definitely counts, Albania, for sure. Of course. Right? The person closest to you, the person who you go to bed with every night. Of course. Absolutely. And what would it take for us to see within all of those people the reflection of us and say, you know what? You fucking piss me off. You annoy me, but man, do I love you. Man, do I see your magic. Do I see your light? And why are we talking about this tonight? Because what if this was, and this is really, guys, this is my contribution. I really meditated really hard on what to share with you tonight. And for me, I have to tell you, with Pluto entering into the sign of Aquarius, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You think we see wars? You think we see death? You think we see destruction? You think we see earthquakes now? The next jaunt that we have with the energy of Pluto in Aquarius is going to change the world. And just to give you an idea of what that means, the last time Pluto was in the sign of Aquarius was during the French Revolution. And what happened during the French Revolution? Let them eat cake, right? Off with their heads. The people took control. And we will. We will see governments collapse, my friends. We are living in a day and a time and an age. But let me tell you something. We will tell our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren how lucky we were to be alive. We will tell them the same stories that we had heard for centuries. It's inevitable. You know, there's a phrase in Kabbalah that says, you know, you have the opportunity to connect to the energy of or to or makif, right? And the energy is either chaos or order. We have the energy to connect to the chaos or to the order. And there's one difference, and that is a belief. And the belief is, what if the chaos was the order? What if the opportunity was to let go and be like, wow, this is really cool. I have no idea what's going on. This really, really, really doesn't make any sense to me, but hey, how did it get any better? What else is possible? And to look and say, you know, I know there have been times in history when they must have felt the same way. When the Israelites were standing on the bank of the Red Sea with the Egyptians chasing them, which also happened in the sign of Aries. And they got to the Red Sea and they go, we're free, but we're not. Now what do we do? Moses said to God, God, what do we do? And God said to Moses, Matitzach alai, which said, why are you crying to me? God said to Moses, why are you crying to me? Meaning, do something about it. Choose, take an action. And the one energy, the one person of all the 600, how many ever Israelites, the thousands of Israelites that were crossing the Red Sea, there was one man, and his name was Nachshon. And Nachshon was like, I'm going for it. And Nachshon went right into the Red Sea. And he almost drowned. And he was up and he was up and he was up and he was drowning. He was still going. He was persevering. He was going, he was going, he was going. And then all of a sudden the Red Sea split. And at that moment when the Red Sea split, he led the Israelites with Moses through the Red Sea. This is a story that is relevant to every single one of us right now. Nachshon was an Aries. That's the energy of Aries. The energy of Aries is to dive in and say, I don't give a fuck. I know, I have complete certainty that all of this is going to work out better than I could ever imagine. And I don't know how, and I don't know why, but I'm going for it. I don't have a rhyme. I don't have a reason, but I'm going for it. Every single one of us, we want to channel the energy of Nachshon. If you imagine that the Red Sea represents that thing that you cannot overcome, it is that health situation, it is that fear, it is that doubt, it is that financial matter, it is that uncertainty. That's your Red Sea. So what is your Red Sea? So take a second right now to put down on your paper, what is your Red Sea? What is that thing that you have standing in front of you that separates you and the promised land? The promised land. The place where of milk and honey, where the fruit grows, where eternal life exists. What is your Red Sea? Because tonight we're going to remove your Red Sea. Okay? It's so relevant to us, and it's so beautiful how it happens right now. In this time and in this space, what we are doing is we are creating a new, completely new reality for us. That's the energy of Aries. Aries is, because it's the youngest sign in the zodiac, I like to say, Joanne, I love you. Joanne says, it reminds me to eat the frog first. That's right, sweetie. Make sure you're well nourished by the frog. Exactly. So the thing that I also love about the energy of Aries too is because it is the first sign of the zodiac, it's also the youngest sign of the zodiac. So if you think of children, what happens when a child is like, I want that? What does he do? He goes after it, right? He goes after it. Think of a child who's learning to walk for the first time. So he gets up, he starts to walk, and he falls. Most of the time, that kid will get right back up again, and he will try it again. He doesn't care that he fell. He doesn't care that he stumbled. He doesn't care that he got his knee a little scuffed up. He gets up and he continues. And he keeps going until he can run across the room. And once he's gotten across the room, then he can run across the house. If he's gotten across the house, he can run across the field. When he's gotten across the field, he can run across the world. He doesn't care. That's the energy of Aries. The energy of Aries tonight is that no matter what happens, no matter how many times we fall, and we get up back again. And we do it with an excitement of like, okay, so what? I fell. Let me just keep going. How far can I go this time? How far can I go this time? So that's the excitement and the energy that we have with the energy of Aquarius. I'm sorry, with Aries in the new moon. The energy of Saturn, which has entered into the sign of Pisces, happened around March 7th. Saturn is also one of those generational planets. Saturn switches signs about every 3 years, roughly every 3 years, and returns to its placement about every 28 years. And so because Saturn is the planet of structure, it's the planet of order, it's the planet of systems, it's the planet of routine. Because Saturn has moved into the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is the sign of the dreamer, the sign of no limitations, the sign of possibility. Those two energies are actually very constricting. They don't work well together technically. But I'm quite excited about what's happening here, because I can tell you this. Finally, for the first time in about 28 years, we're going to have an opening. It's going to be even greater than we've ever seen before, in which the world of science and the world of spirituality will start to become one. Okay? Consciousness is going to become the new currency. Healing is going to become the new commodity. In the next 3 years, we're going to see advancements in science and technology that are going to actually match the metaphysics that every single one of us has been studying. And I could not be more excited about that. You are all healers. We're all healers. And because we're all healers, we're already at the forefront of this change, of this possibility. If you want to see what may happen for you during this time, if you guys look to about around January of 1994, those of you who remember between January of 1994 and June of 1996, July of 1996. If you can do some self-reflection and remember what you were going through during that time, that was the last time Saturn was in Pisces. For me, that was when I moved to New York. Right? It was a very, very powerful time in my life. It was like a time of chasing my dreams, following my dreams, going after something that everybody else told me was impossible. And so when I had that awareness of remembering the last time Saturn was in Pisces, for me, I got really excited, right? Because it was an amazing time in my life.
I moved to the States too.
Did you at the same time?
Yeah.
See? So we both have this energy too. Maybe you have Saturn in Leo. We have to look at that, Lisa. But we have this time right now is going to be it's going to be the next level of whatever it was you were going through during that time between January 94 to June of 96. Okay. So if you want to do some self-reflection on that, do that. That's what we can expect times a godzillion for the next 3 years for Pisces in Leo and Saturn in Pisces. Last but not least, I just want to reaffirm to you what's going on with Pluto in the sign of Aquarius. Okay? Pluto and the sign of Aquarius is interesting. Like I said, the last time we saw this was during the French Revolution. So you know what happened during that time. You know that governments collapsed, structures collapsed, kings and queens went away. Marie Antoinette got beheaded. God bless her sweet soul. So what's going to happen for us? What we can definitely begin to say is that the death energy that's going to begin to happen is the energy of big government, right? All of those things that we've given our power and our attention to. There's no coincidence that what we have going on in China and the Ukraine and all of these other and Iran, you notice all those things have been coming up lately, right? All of them have been coming up lately in the last year. And so we're going to see some really significant changes. We're going to see some geographical changes. Please don't buy into the trauma and the drama. Let's acknowledge that as healers, we have the ability to send that energy, send all those places. This amazing energy that we have. You have consciousness. We have consciousness, people. Consciousness creates a reality. So anytime anybody comes to you, oh my God, the banks are collapsing, the world is falling apart, I don't understand. Please just look at them and go, you know what? How can it all work out better than we've ever imagined? And let them go, you're nuts. You go, yeah, I'm nuts. But I know that we've been through this before, and I know that we're going to actually come out of it even greater than we could ever imagine. That also goes for each and every single one of us, guys. This energy, that which we see in the world, is also a reflection of us. So when you see death, destruction, war, earthquakes, all of that, what's your reaction? What is your reaction? Do you go to a place of panic? Do you go to a place of fear? Do you go to a place of wrongness? Or do you go, man, I must have that energy within me? During the pandemic, in my craziness, I said, where can I move? Where can I go where I can be free from all this drama of the pandemic? And one of the places was Turkey. So I moved to Turkey, I spent a lot of time in Turkey from July 2020 until about May 2021. I was off and on. I went to Turkey a lot. I went to a lot of regions that were open. So I met a lot of amazing people in Turkey. I saw a lot of incredible things, met a lot of amazing people. So when the earthquake hit Turkey and Syria, I felt really affected by it. It wasn't a foreign place that was just across the ocean on another side of the world. It was really personal to me. And I started to get really emotional, really sensitive about it. Then I stopped and I said, okay, Creator, what is this reminding me of myself? What is this teaching me? What is this showing me? And the Creator said the most beautiful thing to me. The Creator said, you're about to have an earthquake in your own life. And how will you handle it? Are you prepared for the earthquakes in your life? And I was like, wow, that's a pretty amazing awareness. And I began to dig a little bit on myself to look at where my fear was. What fear do I have about enduring an earthquake? Like, meaning a metaphysical, energetic earthquake. What fear do I have about going through some kind of something in my life that changes my life? And I worked a lot and I dug a lot on it. But it's something that I want to share with each and every one of you that you can also do. What are you afraid of? What would happen if you were the one who suffered a seismic earthquake that maybe destructed your home or whatever, right? Not to put it out there for you, but just to say, okay, what would I choose? What could I choose that would actually enhance my life? Sometimes the fear of change is greater than the fear of destruction, right? So what happens with that is we say, it's easier for me to go through something chaotic than it is for me to change. Is it really? Is it really? Would it be easier for you to endure something like a hurricane or an earthquake that made you change your life instead of something in which you just chose? What are you unwilling to change in your life now? What are you unwilling to let go of that if you actually did let go of it, that would prevent the earthquake from happening? So anything and everything that is, that doesn't allow you to be, know, perceive, and receive that, can we please destroy and create that? Yes, exactly. So that's, I think, an amazing place for us to begin our meditation tonight. Okay? So in our meditation tonight, I would like for you to take that thing, that energy that we talked about that happened to you 6 months ago. Where were you at? What was the divine life lesson that you learned? We're going to mark that lesson complete. We're going to get rid of it and we're going to move on. You don't have to continue to learn a lesson. You've learned it. It's done. It's over. Let's move on. Let's create something new. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're going to do tonight in our meditation. The second thing we're going to do tonight is we're going to ask for greater than we could ever imagine. So now what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to fast forward to October 2023. If you fast forward to October 23, I want you to look back at the last 6 months and say, wow, Albania, you are amazing. Look at all this amazing, amazing magic that you manifested in the last 6 months. Wow, Marcy, you are a badass. I can't believe you did that in the last 6 months. What is that going to be? What are you going to look at in the next 6 months and say, man, I did that? Okay, that's the other thing I'm going to give you a minute to actually write down as well. What is it that you're going to look back on in October 2023 and you're going to go, wow, this last 6 months were the 6 greatest months of my life so far because I did this. Okay, so before we begin the meditation, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to answer those questions, because what's going to happen is we're going to actually actualize that right here, right now, and today. So how does it get even better? So all the fears, doubts, uncertainties, and while you guys are doing that, I'm just going to run some clearings. So all of the fears, doubts, uncertainties, points of views, conclusions, expectations, limitations, separations, judgments that you have about being your best, most magical, incredible self and actualizing all of those dreams that you've been asking for. Anything that doesn't allow that to happen to you with ease and joy and glory. Can we please destroy and uncreate it? Yeah, exactly. And everywhere that you are actually creating a conclusion and a limitation instead of being open to more than what you've decided that you want, can we please destroy and uncreate that? Great. So what would it be like, look like, taste like, smell like, an experience to live your day-to-day life without pain, without suffering, without dis-ease? So every place, every point of view, conclusion, expectation, judgment, separation, and limitation that you have to hold on to pain. That pain defines you. That pain is something that you have to hold on to actualize and make yourself real in this lifetime. Can we please destroy it and create it? Yeah, great. So all the fears, doubts, uncertainties that you have of moving forward in your life, that if you move forward in your life, something horrible will happen. Can we please destroy and create it? Excellent. Great. So let's go ahead and begin our meditation. Okay, you guys ready? So let's go ahead and close our eyes. And as you close your eyes, find yourself in your heart. As you find yourself in your heart, let's begin by taking 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose, and out through the mouth. So now let's shift our awareness to the center of the earth. And as we shift our awareness to the center of the earth, let's imagine this beautiful energy swirling in the center of the earth. Now let's imagine that energy scooping up fresh earth energy, coming up through the soles of our feet, through our ankles, our calves, our knees, and our thighs. And traveling up through all of our chakras and popping up outside the top of our head, forming a beautiful ball of light. Now see yourself in this ball of light. And now imagine this ball of light traveling up out of the space that you're in. Higher and higher and higher and faster and faster and faster. Imagine that energy lifting you up, out past Earth's atmosphere, out into outer space, past different planets, galaxies in the Milky Way, and higher and higher and higher beyond there, out into different layers of light, some light and some dark. And as you imagine those energies lifting you up through there, you imagine them lifting you into a beautiful golden-like light. And through the golden-like light, into a jelly-like substance light. And through the jelly-like substance light, into a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. And through the law of compassion, you enter into the 7th plane of all that is. The plane of creation, of oneness, and of complete totality. Immediately, your ball of light dissolves into this energy. Remember that this is the space where every single atom and molecule in all of existence has happened. Energy cannot be created, it cannot be destroyed, it just takes a different form and a different space. And that's what we're going to do right now. So now what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to imagine that in front of you exists a beautiful pyramid. A pyramid that's the size of the pyramids of Giza or Mexico, or giant pyramid. See that pyramid in front of you. And this is your pyramid. And as you see this pyramid take in its majesty, and now what I want you to do is to acknowledge that anything and everything that you place into this pyramid is going to actualize for you within the next month or within the next 6 months. And now I'd like for you to begin to place into the pyramid, number one, all of those powerful life lessons that you've learned in the last 6 months. Those things that you were going through last October, all those life lessons, divine life lessons, powerful, positive, vibrant life lessons that you learned, place them into your pyramid. And so now what I want you to do is take that energy of what we talked about looking to October 2023. Looking back at the last 6 months, what did you actualize in these last 6 months? And now I want you to place those energies into your pyramid. Where did you go? What did you do? Who did you meet? What was the magic that you created that was beyond what you could imagine? What miracles happened for you? What possibilities were created because you asked for them? What did you ask for that you didn't think you could ask for, that you did ask for, that changed everything? What fear did you let go of? What fear did you overcome? What did you acquire? What love did you acquire? Place all those things into your pyramid. And now I'm going to ask you a few questions because I perceive these energies. Just go with them. There's somebody here, maybe a few of you, who are actually looking for a divine life partner or soulmate. Could you just tell the universe what you want? Can you place the energy of that person in your pyramid right now, please? Put them there. Put them in that pyramid. Don't put a face to it, just put an energy. I also perceive that there are some of us here who are maybe have some points of views about money, about there not being enough money, not having enough money, and wondering where the money is going to come from. Could you place into that pyramid all the money that you would like to see actualized and manifested in your life in the next 6 months? You want to give it an amount, give it an amount, but make it a big amount. Let the universe show you what else is possible. Put that in there. What else can you put into your pyramid? How's your health doing? What magical, miraculous, potent, powerful healing would you like to have within your body, within your health that could change everything for you? Put that into your pyramid. Great. And now I'd like for you to allow yourself to step into the center of your pyramid. Walk into the pyramid and take center of your pyramid. And as you stand in the center of your pyramid, you see around you all these beautiful things that you've placed into your pyramid. How do they make you feel? What's the vibration? What's the energy? What does it create in your life? Perceive that. Now crank it up. 5 knots, 10 knots, 20 knots, 100 knots. Pull in that energy. And so now in the back of your mind's eye, I'd like for you to ask, make the command, Creator of all that is. It is commanded or requested that all of this or greater is actualized in my life now. Thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. So it is. Now, immediately imagine a beam of light coming up through the base of your pyramid, through your body, going out through the top of your pyramid, expanding out into the universe beyond the eye's limitation. You see this beautiful energy, this beam of light, this column of white light. It's like a lighthouse. And now you see that this beam of light reaches to every corner of the globe. And you see all these people that you never imagined, that you never knew. They see your light. And now imagine that all those people are creating space with you. They're walking towards your pyramid. And as they walk towards your pyramid, you see that they too are a part of your manifestation. There are people who can help you. There are people who want to help you. There are people in which your manifestations are connected to their manifestations. Pull them in. Pull them into your pyramid. Enjoy them. Bring them in. Fill your pyramid with these people, these sparks of light, these energies that are contributing to you. Pull them into your pyramid. And now see in your pyramid the unity, the connection, the possibilities that exist for you. See how your manifestations are contributing to their manifestations, how your energy is helping their energy, how you guys are simultaneously helping each other. Just like every single one of us here tonight, watching. We're supporting each other in our manifestations. So on the count of 3, I'm going to click my fingers. When I click my fingers, we're going to return to this space. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Return to this space. Face your palms up. Lift your eyes about 20 degrees above the field of vision, as if you're sitting in a movie theater and looking on a screen. And as you look on the screen, I want you to see the actualization and the manifestation of all that now, present, here. You don't have to wait 6 months. It's here right now. It's just going to reveal itself to you in divine timing. Feel that. And offer gratitude. Creator of all that is, we thank you. We're grateful. Thank you for all that you be, all that you show us, all that you allow us to expand. Thank you for everything. Thank you. And now take your palms, rub your palms together. Faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Now place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Allow that energy to come into your body, into your being. And place your hands on your heart. Congratulate yourself. And thank yourself for being here, for being so magical, magnanimous, so powerful. Guys, thank you so much. There's no coincidence that every single one of us who showed up this evening is so a part of something so much greater. Every single one of us. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for all of us. Thank you. How does it get even better? What else is possible now? I want to challenge every one of you, every one of us, to go out into the world in the next 48 hours. Share something that you took with you tonight with somebody else. Okay? A lot of information, a lot of stuff we revealed tonight, a lot of stuff we uncovered. Take with you one thing that made you go, holy cow, and share that with somebody else. In this time of Pluto in Aquarius, it is going to become essential and critical that we share our gift with the world. That's the energy of consciousness. That's the energy of creation. We can do it. We've got it. Every single one of us. We're an ambassador. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all. If you have any questions, you need anything, you have any comments, concerns, curiosities, please just send me an email. You know, my email is very simple. It's daniel@theprovocativeintuitive.com. I'm here for you. I love you all. And what will it take for the next millennia to be the greatest of our lives? Okay? Thank you guys so much. Mwah! Also, for those of you who don't know, I think all of you know, except Patricia. Patricia, you're welcome as well. Every morning at 8:45 a.m., we have a meditation called the Daily Download. Okay, it's a free meditation. It's 15 minutes. It happens every single day, and it's a manifestation and an actualization. All of you who are listening, past, present, and future, you are always welcome to come. Okay? And yes, Patricia, unmute yourself, sweetie, so I can hear you.
Excuse me.
No worries.
Do you have a link for
Yes,
that?
absolutely. If I send it to you right now, can you save it from the chat, or do you want me to email it to you?
I think it would be better to email me. I don't know how to save from the chat.
No problem. So we'll email it to everyone tonight. We'll send you an email for the daily download so that you can all be reminded to come and to enjoy it and to have a great time. Okay? So thank you all.
Thank you.
You're very, very welcome. And thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you very soon. I'll see you tomorrow.